Well, it wasn't the kind of night I was expecting. Her name was Jill, but I had her pegged down as a Sue for some reason. She had like a Sue-ish face, and she had bad legs. Well, I think it was her legs, because she was stumbling and bumbling all over the place. It was ever so sad, oh bless her. I asked Andrew, that's the landlord, if she's okay, and he said, someone's in for an interesting evening. Which I thought didn't answer the question at all. Anyway, 2 pina coladas later, and she's bobbing and weaving my way. It took her a while, you know what, with the legs. And they were all sniggering. I said, you lot wouldn't be laughing if the boot was on the other foot. And then Alf chimes in with, well, I think she'd walk better if it was. I thought, the shame of it, laughing at a disability. I mean, I had a good mind to tell Jill what they were saying, but she hadn't seemed to notice, so I thought, you know, best be quiet. No, least said, soonest mended. First thing she said to me, she said, are you gay? I said, gay? You've been talking to this lot? I pointed at the locals. They're buggers they are. They're always making fun of me. I said, I didn't think a salmon pink shirt meant that you were, you know, gay. Anyway, her husband's only gone and left her with the kids for a younger woman. I know, you couldn't make it up, could you? He's over in Greensborough, got a flat with a hussy, living it up while Jill's here dealing with the SHIT. When I say hussy, she might actually be a lovely girl, and you never really know what goes on behind closed doors, do you? I mean, I said that to Jill, but it only set her off. I thought she was going to have a nosebleed. She was making so much noise. And then Andrew wants to know what's going on. I said, look, Andrew, Jill's husband's gone and left her for a hussy, but we don't actually know if she is a hussy or not yet. Then, out of nowhere, Jill says to me, come on, darling, let's go back to yours. Well, it's very inappropriate, I thought, and I told her. I said, I didn't think Mum would appreciate being woken up at this hour. Then they all started laughing in the pub. Honestly, I don't know what was so funny. It was gone 8:30. Anyway, I couldn't stop her following me home. I said, you can come in for a cup of tea and a shortbread finger and then it's off. But she went straight up into my room and into the ensuite. Said she wanted to slip into something more comfortable. I said, you'll not find anything in there. The wardrobe's your best bet. And she said to me, make yourself at home, I'll be a while. And she was. I found her asleep on the bathroom floor 30 minutes later. Sick all up the wall. Thought that'll stain. And she'd woken Mum. You break my heart, you do. That's how she starts it. I thought, oh, that's nice, isn't it? No good morning, no how are you, not a pleasantry in sight. I said, it was a week ago, Mum, and I'm a grown-up now. She said I put a black mark on the family name. She said if your dad was alive, he'd be spinning in his grave. But he wouldn't. My dad used to call me his pride and joy. He used to say, Gordon, you're my pride and joy, you are. I used to tell him I loved him. He used to smile me the biggest smile, pick me up and tell me he loved me too. Oh. Mum says I've got a vivid imagination. I said, it's not my imagination, it's you getting muddled up. Then she says she wonders if I love her. I said, of course I do, you know I do. And she says, oh, do I? I spent the rest of the afternoon trying to make it up to her. It was tea time before she spoke to me again. Then she said, well, just put it down to a silly incident and not talk about it again. And I said, oh yeah, just like Sandra then. Then she starts with town bike this, devil's whore that, you know, all that nonsense. I said I loved her. She said I wouldn't know what love was, not when it cost 3 and 6 and come with a clap. Well, I said I wanted to talk about it, but she said I'd upset her. She'd have to go and have a lie down. I remember the first time we met, me and Sandra. I was sat in Tiffanys having a cup of lapsong suchong when she walked over, pointed at an empty chair and said, is someone sitting there? And I thought, poor girl, she must be seeing things. I said, no dear, it's an empty chair. She started laughing. I thought she must have some kind of affliction. But she carried on laughing, then she sat down. Well, it was brilliant at first. She was so pretty and she was so much fun. Dad would have really liked her. But it was around this time that Mum started to have her funny turns. I'd say, you must be allergic to Sandra, because she used to have terrible bouts of it whenever Sandra would try and come over. I don't blame her for leaving. She'd stuck it out long enough. I mean, who'd want to be with somebody looking after their mum 24/7? There could have been an allergy, though, because Mum got back to her old self almost as soon as Sandra left. I know you couldn't write it, could you? I don't have a bad word to say about anybody, but Aunt Hilda is easily the most nastiest person I've ever had to be related to. She's just only been here 4 days. I'm at my wit's end. She tipped up the day after it happened. I said there's no need. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Well, she snorts and barges past me. Don't be silly, Gordon. Who's going to wash your underpants? And says she's going to take the guest room and that I should make it up for her. I thought, hold on a minute, Gordon, you can't start out like this or she'll have you over a barrel. So, I made her wait until countdown had finished. She was livid, she was. She had a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. I thought that'll sort her. She only tried sending me to bed last night. I said, not on your Nelly. Then she goes potty about not respecting her loss. I thought, this woman can't help but ruin a quiet evening. I was quite tired anyway.